Welcome back, Agent. Let's take some time to discuss regular expressions. As a field agent, you will often need to search through large amounts of text for a particular piece of information, such as an email or a phone number. Searching for patterns can be done through regular expressions. Imagine you needed to search a string for a term such as phone. You could use the in keyword that you already know about to do this. You would just say the string phone in and then the string you wanted to search. And in this case, it would return true because the string phone is in that string is the phone here. Now imagine that you need to find some telephone number, such as 408-555-1234. You could do the same action. Search that string in another string, and it would return a boolean indicating whether or not the string was there. But what if you didn't actually know the exact phone number? If all you knew was the format of the number to be 3 numbers, a dash, 3 numbers, a dash, and then 4 numbers, you would need regular expressions to search through the document for this pattern instead of just a normal string. Regular expressions allow for pattern searching in a text document. Now, the syntax for regular expressions can be very intimidating at first. Here we can see an example of what the pattern structure looks like for a phone number. The key thing to keep in mind is that every character type has a corresponding pattern code. For example, digits have the placeholder pattern code of \D. The use of the backslash allows Python to understand that this is just a special code and not the actual letter D. Python's built-in regular expressions model, or RE, can work with these special pattern codes to search through the documents to retrieve information. Let's get an overview of how to use this pattern code syntax. Let's begin by understanding how to search for basic patterns. We'll create some example text saying something like, the agent's phone number is 408-555-1234. Call soon. As we just discussed, you could search for simple strings in the text, such as phone, in, text, and you would get back a boolean indicating true or false is that actual string in the text. But now let's show the format for regular expressions. To do this, we will import the regular expressions module, RE, and then we'll assign the pattern phone to a variable called pattern. So we will say that the string phone is equal to pattern. Then we can say RE, call the search function off of the regular expressions module, and then you pass in the pattern, and then you pass in the text, and you get back this match object. And so notice how much more information is here. This match object will report back not just whether there was a match to the phone, but also where the actual index location spanned to. So it starts at index 12 and then ends at index 17. So now let's search for a pattern that we know is not in the text. So we'll create another pattern variable or really overwrite it. And then something like not in text, which we know isn't there. And if we search for the new pattern in our text, we get back none, which means we don't really get back anything because there is no match. So now that we've seen that this re.search function will take the pattern, scan the text, and return a match object, and if no pattern is found, none is returned, which in the notebook setting just means that nothing is output to the cell. Let's take a closer look at this match object from before. We're going to reset pattern as phone, and we're going to run this search again. We'll say re.search pattern in the text, and we'll actually save this to the variable match so we can explore this match object. So this is a regular expression match object, and it has a lot of information that we can grab from it. We can call the span method in order to get the actual index location of the span. And then you could also ask for the start or the end index by themselves. And keep in mind, if we had multiple matches inside the string, we would unfortunately only get back the first match. So if I had a string that said my phone once, my phone twice, and then I tried running the same command as before, saying match re search for phone inside of this new text, and then I check the match itself, it only turns back one span, 3, 8, because that's the first match right here. If I want to find multiple matches or all the matches, I can use the find all function instead. So I can say matches is equal to re find all, and I will search for, again, phone in that text. And then if I check my matches, I get back this list of how many matches I had. So if we wanted to check how many matches there were, I could get the length of this list. And if I want to get back actual match objects, then I use the iterator. So to show you what I mean by that, I can say for match in re find, and instead of find all, I can say find iter, and then pass in whatever pattern I'm looking for. So I could be looking for phone again, and then pass in the text I want to search. And what this does is it iterates through this text and then returns each match object that's found. So just like before when we were using search, we return back the first match object, essentially indicating where we first matched up. If we use find all, it just returns back a list of the strings themselves. If I want to kind of combine these two by iterating through the text object and then finding every single match object, I use find iter. So you're going to need to essentially use a for loop with this to iterate. So we're saying for match in re.findIter, you pass in the pattern and the text you want to search for, and then you can print out the actual match object, and then we get back the match objects. And you can do whatever you want with these match objects. For instance, if you were just interested in the spans, you could call the span method off of it, run that, and it will return back the spans. Now, if you wanted the actual text that matched, all you need to do is use the group method. So you could say here, group, and that returns back the actual text that matched up that you were searching for, essentially what you get back when you use find all. So far, we've been able to realize the critical functions of the regular expressions module, and that is the search function, where again you just pass in a pattern and the text, and it returns back the first match object. The find all function, which again, pattern text, and it returns back just the list of matches indicating the strings that matched. And then the find iter, which is essentially a combination of these two, where you go through the entire string and you return back match objects for the actual pattern you're searching for in the text. Then you can call any methods you want off of that match object. What we haven't discussed yet is the actual special regular expression syntax for general patterns. Right now, we've only been searching for basic strings. Up next, we're going to discuss how to build these special identifying regular expression pattern codes. We'll see you there, Agent.